It's going to be amazing. So I'd like, though, to introduce your first comic of the night after me, a good dear friend of mine. He's actually one of the guys that really got the show going. He set it up, he talked to the people, and got all the cogs moving in the right direction. Please put your hands together for Mike Freed.
Not even one? Did he use up the entire quota of black people jokes? Is that what happened? No, I actually want to start out talking to you a little bit about politics, because nothing gets a room going like politics. Yeah, that was sarcasm. Yeah, our federal government, Congress, finally passed a budget for like the first time in 6 years. And in this budget, they actually cut spending for the SNAP program, that's food stamps. And it's been hitting a lot of the country really hard, especially places like New York, California, Florida. Might affect some people here. But our state government has got our back. Tallahassee's got a solution for us. They actually recently passed a law making it legal to collect and eat roadkill. Yeah. I mean, it sounds a little bit disgusting, but it does open up the door to combine Polk County's two favorite sports, hunting and NASCAR. And I apologize, I don't want to get off on the wrong foot if anybody here is actually from Polk County. Next time I do that joke, I'll speak more slowly. So, also in the news recently, Marilyn Manson is actually still out there performing, and he was doing a concert up in Canada, and he was right in the middle of performing to beautiful people when he starts projectile vomiting and passes out on stage. She tells me it has finally happened. Even Marilyn Manson is sick and tired of hearing the beautiful people. And what was funny to me about this, it actually took several minutes for anybody to come to his aid because everybody thought it might be part of the show. And I know a Manson concert's pretty extreme, but what the hell is going on there where your frontman reenacting The Exorcist and losing consciousness might be part of the show? But he actually told reporters in this article that it was because he had the flu. And I've got to hand it to him for his work ethic, because when I have the flu, I don't have the energy to get out of bed to perform a bowel movement, let alone a concert. I'm just calling to my girlfriend to bring me a bedpan and a magazine. I'm kidding, of course, I don't have a girlfriend. Or a bedpan, but I have found that a shallow casserole dish will get the job done. Oh, ew me, I don't cook with it. That is strictly a serving dish. So many years ago, I actually served in the U.S. Army. Did a few years, and I was actually a terrible soldier. Like, when I deployed to Bosnia, they wouldn't even give me grenades, because apparently in the qualifying range, I threw like a girl of 7 with polio. And no, you actually, on the qualifying range, you actually have to do this thing where you lay flat on your back and you roll over, and as you're rolling over, you throw a grenade into a target. And I threw this grenade straight up in the air, and it came straight back down. And you know, practice grenades don't really explode, but I still caught 2 pounds of steel straight to my chest. My day was over. And I was actually trained for air defense artillery in the Army. That means I was trained to shoot down airplanes. And since we haven't had a viable air threat in 40 years, that meant that most of my active duty life I spent, you know, cleaning toilets, doing lawn work, day labor. Basically, I was a Mexican in uniform for 3 years. And but I actually did something in the Army. I broke a record that has never been broken to this day. I'm really proud of it. And I'm not talking about the longest time on the 2-mile run. Somebody actually broke that record a year later when they fell asleep at the halfway point. Only beat my time by 2 minutes, though. No, actually, in training, I was in a simulator, and I shot down a jet fighter aircraft with a machine gun. First time that it ever happened. And that's actually, and it doesn't sound that impressive, but you have no idea how fast those things really are. Of course, it was friendly. And it was trying to land on the airstrip that we were supposed to be defending in the simulation, but I'm counting it. My instructor didn't think it was very funny, though. He actually made me write a letter to the family of the simulated airman that I shot down. And it went something like this. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Sim, I'm terribly sorry to inform you that your son has been killed in a friendly fire accident. But man, you should have seen that shot. 300 rounds straight through the cockpit. No time to eject. I mean, you do not see a fireball like that every day. So, yeah, I am single. I'm actually very happily divorced. Anybody with me on that one? I thought I'd get a few. Yeah, I think the reason why my marriage broke up, to be honest with you, is my ex-wife and I had completely different sexual appetites. Like, I wanted to have sex every single day. And then I found out she was having sex every single day. Now, I'm not going to call my ex-wife a whore, but she did recently receive an award for the tourist dollars her vagina was bringing to the community. Back when I was in the Army, I was stationed over in Bosnia. She was actually entertaining so many GIs back home behind my back that the USO sent donation checks to my house. So, I actually started doing stand-up comedy because I thought it was going to help me meet women. Then I find out that 90% of comics are dudes, so I'm just hanging out with guys every night of the week. But I've been going to open mics for a long time. I've got a lot of musician friends, and I noticed that all of my friends who are playing music, no matter how socially awkward they are off stage, they're always surrounded by beautiful women. And I really wanted to be a part of that. So I tried it and found out that I have the musical talent of Helen Keller. And so I really only have two major talents, sarcasm and turning home improvement projects into medical emergencies. So, my choice was pretty obvious. But I have noticed over the last couple of years that the quality of groupies is completely different between comedians and musicians. Like, perfect example of this, I was doing a show at a club a few months ago, and this beautiful, gorgeous woman walks up to me after my set. She says, "I really enjoyed that bit you did about drunk driving, because I've been pulled over for DUI 7 times in the last year." Like, I'm not kidding, this is a true story. Like, this is her opening line to me. And I am too much of a gentleman to tell you how she got out of 6 of them, but she does know how to run her mouth. So, the conversation goes straight downhill from there. She tells me, she's bipolar, schizophrenic, and OCD, but she was on medication 6 years ago for that, so it should be okay. And I'm not even really that turned off, because it's still better than 80% of my ex-girlfriends. But, But, it even gets worse than that. She tells me she's trying to drop the hint that she's single. She tells me she's on Match.com, but don't pay any attention to her profile picture because she was a lot skinnier back then. She was smoking crack. And then the coup d'etat, I swear, was she tells me, I'm not really looking to get in a relationship with anybody. I really just want to go home with a guy who's never going to call me again. And I'm never going to call her anything but crazy, but she does make excellent waffles. So, living single, I kind of live like a bachelor sometimes. I use a lot of paper plates and like plastic cups and stuff. And my hippie friends are telling me that I need to start using real dishes. It's better for the environment. But my God, they make the garbage bags heavy. I don't know how they can afford to keep replacing those after every meal. That's like $5 a plate. So, a few weeks ago, I was listening to John Mayer. Not because I'm gay, but every now and then I'll do gay things just to make sure that I'm still straight. Like, every time I suck a dick, I'm reminded it's not really my kind of thing. And, so, I was listening to that song, Her Body is a Wonderland, and I'm thinking to myself, my God, this is a beautiful song. I mean, he must have really been in love with this woman to have inspired such an amazing song. And I'm thinking back on my marriage, and I actually wrote a very similar song called Her Vagina is Like Disneyland. So, as a big guy, I think one of the reasons I'm still single is I'm incredibly overweight. You know what they say, a donut a day keeps the ladies away. And, but as a big guy, I've eaten some things over the years that I'm not necessarily proud of. I think most big guys can relate to that. In my travels, I've eaten everything from bat, yak, rat, even cat, all because the alternative was a salad. I've eaten some things in my past that would make a starving Ethiopian refugee stand back and say, dude, that's not healthy. Like my ex-wife. But I think the one thing that I'm least proud of is a few years ago I ate an entire tray of cupcakes from a bachelorette party, complete with the little tiny plastic penises on top. And you know, I had a rule in my household that baked goods have a short lifespan. And she thought this is where I was going to draw the line, like this was going to be my limit. No, I had to eat one on principle just to show her who's the man of the house. I did not, however, have to lick the frosting seductively from the little plastic balls in front of her. That was all for her. But it was working for me though, because she was getting hot. I could tell she was getting turned on. And finally she stands up and she walks over to me and says, "Let me show you how that's really done." And I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is it. But then she grabs one of the other cupcakes, goes to the bedroom, throws me a blanket and a pillow, and slams the door in my face. I'd eat the rest of the tray as comfort food while I cried myself to sleep on the couch because she has never made those kind of noises for me. But the most recent example of this is I was on a budget, so I went to Taco Bell and I got an entire bag of beefy 5-layer burritos because they are cheap and they are filling, they're made of pure awesome. And I was going to put these in the fridge and eat these for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a few days. And some of you may be wondering how long you can keep a Taco Bell 5-layer burrito in the refrigerator before it goes bad. The answer is 6 days. I'm not really sure if it had gone bad or if that's just what happens to your body when you eat a burrito for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 6 days. But I can tell you this colon is clean. I swallowed some Legos when I was 3. I swear I crapped an entire pirate ship. I turn around, I've got the Butt Pirates of the Caribbean playset floating in the toilet. It was disgusting. So I think another reason I'm still single is I'm constantly having to convince women that I'm not actually gay. I know at first glance I look exactly like an Abercrombie model, but we don't need to stereotype people here. You know, I know I'm not like the manliest of men. I don't watch sports, I don't play video games, I don't even really drink beer. In fact, I can walk in, I don't even drink mainly liquors like whiskey or scotch. I could like walk into any bar and say, "Give me the girliest, fruitiest thing you have." Like rum runners, fuzzy navel, sangria. If you could put some fresh fruit in one of those little tiny umbrellas in it for me, that would be fabulous. You know, a couple of years ago, I was actually front row center at the Lady Gaga concert. I had no idea that she was going to turn into such a gay symbol. I was just there to see a gorgeous woman dressed in nothing but bubble wrap. I have no idea what she was thinking with red heels with bubble wrap. That was a travesty. But a lot of people have said that Lady Gaga's a dude. Like, that's been a big rumor going around. And I'm telling you, if Lady Gaga's a dude, she can be my man crush. And I'm not the first person to use that term, I know. It's been pretty popular. Every guy gets one. Sean Connery, Johnny Depp, George Clooney don't count. They're pretty much universal. But you know, it would be really hard to replace Brad Pitt on that list, though. I mean, God, did you see that man in Troy? Oh, man, you could put a Trojan on that horse and saddle me up. Oh. For anybody else, though, I'm completely straight. Mostly completely straight. And, like, this became a real problem a few years ago. I was celebrating my birthday at a gay bar on April 1st. And like, the bar is full of my friends, and one of my friends calls me up to the front of the audience, or front of the crowd, and announces to the entire bar, "It's my birthday, everybody be nice to me," and like, blah, blah, blah. And on this birthday, he is finally coming out of the closet. Let me remind you, this is April 1st. I have 20 friends in this bar. Not one of them thinks it's a joke. You know, all night long, guys are buying me drinks, which is awesome. A few of them wanted to dance. That was a little weird, but they bought me a drink. You know, it's only polite. And, you know, it went from a great April Fool's joke to an epic April Fool's joke when all of my friends in the bar started congratulating me on Facebook. Because by the next day, it had gone viral. I had old army buddies calling me up. "We never asked because you didn't have to tell." So I think we've connected a little bit here. I think we've built up kind of a rapport. I want to tell you something very personal. I had a health scare a few weeks ago that it scared the crap out of me because I went to my doctor for a routine checkup and I saw this poster on the wall that said, "Do you get confused in familiar places?" Do you ever forget important names and dates? Or do you black out and lose entire periods of time? You may have the symptoms of early onset Alzheimer's disease. And that scared the crap out of me because that is like probably one of the most devastating diseases you can get. So I talked to my doctor immediately. It turns out I'm an alcoholic. Very similar symptoms. But if anybody out there actually has a family member suffering from Alzheimer's disease, there is hope. Saw recently that there was a study that showed a cancer drug significantly reduced the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease in rats. And my first reaction to that is, how the hell do you know when a rat has Alzheimer's disease? It's like, is he crapping in the wrong corner of his cage? Is he forgetting the names of his 10,000 grandchildren? Why would you test this drug on rats anyway? If ever there was an opportunity for top secret human trials, it's an Alzheimer's drug. Because if you cure the disease, you're a hero. And if you don't, nobody is going to believe a 90-year-old dementia patient when he tells you someone is sleeping in his room at night giving him injections. So, while we're on the subject of technology, technology in general is just astounding how fast it's been progressing in my lifetime. Like, I cannot believe the phone in my pocket is 10,000 times more powerful than the desktop computer I had just 10 years ago. Do you have any idea how long it takes to download porn on a Commodore 64? And click, is that a leg? So, with technology advancing as fast as it is, everybody's always asking, where are the flying cars like they had in the Jetsons? We want the flying cars. Not me. I think that's a really bad idea. Because if I'm driving down 5th Avenue and my check engine light comes on, I might need to change my oil. If I'm at 15,000 feet and my check engine light comes on, holy shit, I need to change my pants. I don't want a flying car. I'm thinking, where are the laser squirrels? Think about it. Cute, cuddly home defense. Looks just as good on your lawn as it does on Donald Trump's head. Mormons at your door, laser squirrel. Girl Scouts trying to sell you Keebler Elf cookies at a 300% markup, laser squirrel. Rick Scott's running for re-election, laser squirrel. Iran's building nuclear weapons, come on, say it with me, ninja bunnies. You cannot trust that kind of job to a squirrel. Alright, my name is Mike Freed. You can see more of me at freedcomedy.com with all kinds of options to follow me. And we're going to bring our host back to the stage, Andrew Silas.